Good morning. I'm Dan Bijirwa Mwanje, clinical psychologist, Uganda. This morning, I want to share with you about stress and stress management. To begin with, stress is one of the most incapacitating mental disorders that has not been given much attention because it is always talked of and it is always experienced, and it seems to be normal, but its effects are adverse, how it impacts on our lives. When we talk of stress, this refers to how the body reacts to the external stimuli or the response to any kind of body demand or threat that causes bodily or mental unrest. We need a kind of stress in order to perform. Every person, so long as you are alive, you need stress. It is stress that helps us to perform and move and do activities and assignments that we have. But if stress disrupts body balance and function, then it is regarded as bad stress. In health practice, in Diagnostic Statistical Manual, abbreviated as DSM, the current version, which is DSM-5, stress is grouped under adjustment disorder. And this stress which we talk about does not develop overnight. It goes through phases. That is phase 1, which is alarm phase. That is when the body is alerted that there is danger and it is excessive. And when the body does not resolve, or you don't help the body to resolve stress, it proceeds to another stage, which is resistance stage. In resistance stage, the body is trying to put resources, mechanism to fight stress, to see how the body can be brought back to balance. And if the body does not succeed and you have not helped your body, it moves to the third phase, which is exhaustion stage. In exhaustion stage, the body will have reached, the systems in the body starts to shut down, and here the body will have exhausted all the available resources and mechanism it can use by itself to fight against stress. Stress has symptoms and it affects us differently, that is emotionally, behavior, our thinking ability, and physical health. To begin with, when your stress leads to make somebody to become short-tempered, they become easily agitated, they become moody. Then others, they feel overwhelmed and they end up feeling like they are losing control or they need to take control. They find it difficult to relax and have a quiet mind. Others develop a bad feeling about themselves, that is low self-esteem, feeling lonely, worthless, and depressed. They start avoiding others. They become impatient. They develop low energy, stomach upset, which can lead to diarrhea or constipation. Then also stress leads to nausea, leads to aches, body pains, tense muscles. You have migraine headache, unexplained aches and headache. Then it leads to chest pain and rapid heartbeat. It leads to insomnia, which is lack of sleep. Physically, you develop colds and infections, on and off flu, which cannot go. Then also you lose sexual desires, low libido. It leads to low energy. It leads to fatigue. It leads to nervousness, shaking, headache, which I had already talked about, dry mouth, and difficulty in swallowing. Cognitively, it leads to constant worrying, racing thoughts, forgetfulness, poor memory, poor judgment, inability to focus, which is poor concentration, being pessimistic or seeing only the negative side. Behaviorally, It can lead to fighting because somebody becomes aggressive. Also, it leads into changes in appetite, where one can eat a lot or does not eat. Then also leads to avoiding responsibilities. It leads to increased usage of alcohol and drugs plus cigarettes. Then others exhibit behaviors such as nail beating and fidgeting. Stress is caused by a lot of things, but to mention a few, one of them are the financial challenges. Then there are also work-related challenges. Others are family-related issues. I will not explain much because I want to look at the effects. The effects of stress on the body, it's a lot and it takes a great toll. One of them, stress leads to increased high blood pressure. Even when you are taking medicine, or medicine may not respond because the body is stressed up and is overwhelmed. It leads to increased high blood sugar levels as you get stressed up. Also, it leads to insomnia, that is lack of sleep. It leads to low sexual drive. You don't need to go looking for Kamanayam and any other energy drink because you have low sexual energy. Just you need to work on your stress. It leads to depression. Depression, that is a feeling of lonely, feeling the world you are out of the world. Then also it leads to stomach aches, and which can also bleed into ulcer. And nowadays you see ulcer is on increase, and perhaps it is attributed to stress levels. It leads to constant headache, which cannot go. It leads to constant flu. Those are effects. It leads to heartburn, risk of heart attack. Then it leads to fertility problems, missed periods for ladies. They think maybe they have already reached on menopause when it is effect of stress. And after looking at that, my major emphasis always, the practitioner, clinical psychologist, is always on management. Number one, management, you must practice 4A strategies of stress management. In 4As, we talk about avoiding unnecessary stress, altering the situation, getting adapted to the stressor, accepting things that you cannot change. To explain more about avoiding unnecessary stress, you learn to say no where you must set limits, and you learn to say no where there is a need to say no. Then also you try to avoid people who can stress you up. Then also you take control of the environment. An example here, maybe the news in the evening are stressful. You avoid turning on a TV. If you are obsessed with football, maybe you fear losing an Arsenal game or Man U or Chelsea, then you don't watch. Maybe you wait to hear from what will come. Then in altering the situation, one, you should try to express your feelings instead of bottling them up. Let your feelings be spoken up and be shared. Then also you should be willing to compromise, especially people who are perfectionists. In altering the situation, you try to compromise. Then I usually give an example like you may be married to a stressful husband or wife. She is quarrelsome or is quarrelsome, but in trying to alter the situation, you look things upside down and you look at maybe he has his goodness, he prepares nice food, maybe he cares for the family, or does not cheat on you. You look at that one, and as you look at that one, still the body will not worry much and the stress will not eat you. Then also you try to get adopted to the stressor. There are things you cannot change, there are things you cannot do away with, but you get adopted. How? You first look at the bigger picture on why you are in that stressful environment. For example, it's a job. but the job itself is stressful. And you ask yourself, why do I need to be here?